So that $210,000 that song made had to be bust down. My take on that 210, my take home was probably $1,500.
Whoa! What is good? Diamond Dynasty, baby. Y'all already know what's going on in this video today. Man, as you guys can tell by the title of this video, what we're gonna be reacting to, okay? YT Wake 'em Up posted this video on celebrities are going broke, the downfall of the music industry. So we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on. We all know how wicked the industry is. We all know how sleazy and shady the industry is as well. Allegedly, we have people at their peak of superstardom like TLC that was broke. You know what I'm saying? You know you're in a shady ass industry if you are the talk of the town, performing at music award shows, and you're broke as fuck. How does that work? Only in our industry, only in the music industry here in America, okay? But anyway, look, man, make sure you tell a friend to tell their Aunt Jemima, to tell their Uncle Joe. We still a hoe. Let's get right into the video, man. Let's get it.
Wrote a record for Usher. The song came out. Let's say at the time the song streamed 70 million streams. If I own 20% of the song or 25% of the song, and it did 70 million streams, and it's $3,000 per million stream, so it's 3,000 times 70, right? So 210,000. Spotify collects the streams, and then they pay the publishers. There's a fixed percentage on the publishing side, based on the relationship between Spotify and the music publishers. So that $210,000 that song made had to be bust down. My take on that 210, my take home was probably $1,500.
Whoa!
And I went, this is how the math worked. It was this simple. Look, it was this simple. If I'd have put that song out myself and only had 3 million streams, I'd have made $10,000. So I stopped giving records to artists. I'm like, I could give you this record and you could fail, and I can get a percentage of your failure, or I could take 100% of my failure, and I could take that to the bank.
Right.
What was the biggest shock for either of you guys when you got
People are starting to realize shit, it's better to be independent than be under a record label right now, right? People are seeing that. Rather be independent, make my little cho-chos, right? Also keep my morals intact, keep my booty hole not played with, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Not having to do my way to the top, or have some tape come out that I had to do, you know what I'm saying? To get down with the team, get down with the crew, you know? So that's why I always advocate independent, right? You want to be independent. You want to be independent, man. You do not want to be relying on these record labels, right? Because they're always going to look out for themselves. They're always going to do what's best for themselves. So you got to look out for you and really think, is this going to benefit me other than, I might be famous or whatever the case is, but does it really make sense to be famous and broke? I'd rather be rich than famous, right? I'd rather be rich than famous and broke. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you would prefer in the comments.
to the industry? Half the industry is broke. And that shocked me.
That's
I
a
would
good
see,
one.
I would
That's a good
see
one.
celebrities. I would be around celebrities, rappers. No offense, but a bunch of them that's like wearing all the big jewelry or on Instagram. It's all a facade, and that's what I was like. For me, I was like, wow, okay, I can breathe.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
Because y'all ain't keeping up with the Joneses yourself. It's rental.
You're just appearing to keep up with the Joneses. Most of that stuff is rented. Most of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand what society is trying to make you buy. They're trying to make you buy an idea. They're trying to sell you an idea that you're not good enough unless you have the chains, have the cars, whatever the case is, right? I'm here to tell you that you are good enough as is. You being on this planet says that you're good enough as is. The reason why you are good enough is because you were born, okay? You are here, and that is enough. So you need to realize that you are enough. You don't have to match a certain number in your bank account, right? You don't have to have all the fancy cars or fancy clothes. If you want that, cool, right? But do it because you want it. Do it for you. Don't do it because you want to be accepted by people who can never truly validate you, because you can only truly validate yourself. And when you actually truly validate yourself, you will not give a fuck about the applause or the boos from the crowd. because you understand that they're just a crowd, right? When you're cheering your own self on, that's the only cheerleader that you should give a fuck about, right? That can truly make an impact and difference on your life is how you perceive yourself, right? So stop looking outside for people to validate you, fam. It'll never work out in your favor. You're always going to fail at getting everybody to like you. Everybody's not gonna like you. And the sooner you can accept that and be okay with that and accept yourself and love yourself regardless, the sooner you will be genuinely happy with your life. And that is the goal, my nigga. We don't have a long time here in this world, man. It's my birthday today, right? It's my birthday today. I'm not gonna be here. I'll celebrate another year of being on this planet, but I won't be here forever, right? So why the fuck would you worry about applause from other people? Make sure that you make yourself proud, all right? That's it.
It's rentals. It's like Miami. Or like whenever they rent the cars and drive around or whatever, and then like return.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Lambos.
Yeah.
Or buy the houses that they really were just renting. Come on.
It's all the Lambos. Yeah.
Or even with jewelry, I think I didn't realize a lot of that.
Moissanite.
Was that like, oh, they buy these pieces to wear in a music video or at a carpet, and they take them back to the jeweler.
Yeah.
They're actual pieces. That was a lot.
That's very true. Because even when I worked in hip hop, it was interesting just to see and hear stuff. Like, and again, not trying to put anybody on blast or whatever. Okay, I could name people if you wanted me to, but correct. Like, you never know. But that's the thing is, like, at the end of the day, you do not know. And that's why you cannot look at somebody and be envious over any of this.
You can't look at somebody and be envious. And you can't look at somebody and try to minimize or judge them for the lack of what you think they have. You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways.
So let me just tell you something. A record deal is nothing more than a line of credit. It's nothing more than a line of credit. You can go get one yourself. People think when they make it to the label status, when they get signed, that they made it to the big leagues. For a musician, going and getting signed is like going to the NBA or the NFL or the MLB or the NHL. It's like going pro. But these days with the internet, you can reach the whole world. The internet is bigger than radio. The internet is bigger than a record label.
There's so much opportunity out here for us to be independent, y'all. There's so much opportunity here. Exactly what he's saying, bro. Exactly what he's saying. You could blow yourself up, fam. You could blow yourself up. You could blow your own music up, okay? One of the pros I could say if you do get on a record label or whatever the case is, they do have the power to make you a celebrity overnight. But what does that power come with? What sacrifices need to be made, right? All of these things you got to work out. What's worth it to you and what's not worth it to you? Is it worth your soul to gain the world, to profit the world, but lose your soul?
And in actuality, you still got to put the work in after you get signed.
Woo,
like
say that.
Signed artists. The only difference is you have a team.
And not only that, do you know how many artists they shelf? Just like if you went pro on a basketball team, you know how many players still sit on the bench? Baseball teams, how many players sit on the bench that don't get to play? Same thing with artists that they shelf. They don't get to, you know, put out certain music, or they gotta wait on the label, and everybody, all the fans is asking where the shit at. When you're independent, nigga, you drop whenever you want to drop. When you get ready to drop, you drop. You ain't gotta tell your fans, sorry, my record label, I'm waiting on my record label. You ain't gotta do none of that shit, bro. You have something that cannot be purchased, cannot be bought, which is your freedom. Your freedom. Let freedom fucking ring, man.
But you won't be top priority,
you know what I'm saying?
Unless you're one of their top streaming artists, unless you a Beyonce, unless you a Rihanna,
a Drake,
unless you a Chris Brown or something. You see what I'm saying? That's when you're a top priority. Other than that, you still got to build it up from the ground up. The only thing that you really should be doing is running YouTube ads. I've been telling people this for 10 years now. The labels are doing the same thing. They're running YouTube ads, in-stream ads, you know, the little ads that pop up in the corner when you search somebody else. You might search one artist and another artist pop up. They're running ads. What they're doing is growth hacking, stealing somebody else's fan base. It don't take much to really go viral these days. We seen artists go viral on their own, then they sign a deal, and they never really make no real money. And these days, first week sales are down. Selling 30,000 copies is the new equivalent to selling 1 million first week, like when Lil Wayne.
Yeah, that's crazy.
30K is considered good now, but that's really terrible. And then we're seeing a lot of people can't even sell out tours or shows no more. So they just got hype, but they don't got a real fan base because the music not good.
There's only a few artists in the game that really make money. So everything you seeing ain't real. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time somebody's put me on game when it comes to the entertainment business.
You know, I wrote raps, I wrote verses, I wrote songs for over a decade and had never earned a penny. And of course,
how long?
wrote for?
Over a decade.
So today, Ray Dames tweeted that about 50 artists and label execs were laid off from Atlantic Records. And I can't even lie, I kind of saw this coming. Now, I'm only speaking from the artist perspective when I say that artists got to stop chasing record deals. It is no longer valuable. And it's especially no longer valuable when you have tools like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, social media. As an artist, if you're using these platforms to produce content rather than consume it, you can build your own brand. We are in an age where the labels are going to have to come to you. We don't live in an age where you make demo tapes and send them off and go to talent shows anymore. That's the 90s, my boy. This is the new age. Also understand that you're competing with people like Kasanak, Drewskis, the Speeds. These are the people that can command attention. The streamers are the new movie stars. So the best thing the artist can do is become your own brand. So coming out and just pushing your music, yeah, that's fine. You know, and it really only works if you're super, super, super talented or if you have a super huge team behind you. But if you don't, the internet is your best friend.
Yo, so listen, we know it's a lot of layoffs going on all across the job market. But I never seen in the history of my existence a label drop so many different artists at one time. 50 different artists. That's a lot of artists. That's a lot of losses that they're taking. On paper, they taking L's, right? Of course, they gonna get their money back. That's gonna be written off as a loss when it's time to do taxes. But they really gotta clean up shop for real. They gotta clean house. They gotta start fresh. The music industry gonna have to go back to some form of selling physical copies, right? They got these USB business cards. And I shouldn't even put y'all hip on game because that's something I'm gonna do. But they got these USB business cards that you can plug right into the car or plug right into your computer. It's like a new version of a cassette tape. But yes, that is true. Most musicians really don't got money. They saying half of them broke. It's just a facade. They do everything for image. This is what happens. The label owns you. When they sign you, they give you an advance. Most people get an advance and they never get another check again.
They blow that shit too.
Say you get signed for $2 million.
Let's not forget that once they get that advance, since most people ain't never had no money, they blow that shit, right? And after that, they probably get shelved, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the end.
They might give you $100,000 as an advance. But if you pay attention, most of these artists are signed for the rest of their life. They can renegotiate terms and get another advance, but they're staying in the hole. They never really getting out, and they never really getting paid off of their streaming. And most people don't own their masters. How does that sound? That's like modern day slavery for real. You don't own your masters. Someone else is your master. Who is your master?
That's like saying, all my videos that I've ever made on my channel, I don't own them, right? I don't have the right to use them in the ways that I please, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. And the fact that you're an artist and you're making your work, right? You're making these songs, you're singing on these songs and all of this shit, and you don't own the rights to the shit that you created? That's just crazy, bro.
That record label is their master. So when they sign these deals, they get a little money up front. Most times they spend that right away.
What I just said.
Back broke. They might give them cars, they might give them jewelry, but they have to pay that back tenfold. So it look good on the outside, but they're really just in debt to the debtor, which is the record label.
If you're not getting it touring, or if you're not getting it through other means,
I already know that's Joe Budden just off the way he sounds.
This music shit is a rap. I'm saying all of the musicians are broke. Relative to what you bring in.
Now, I do think that there is plenty of ways to make money as independents. Low overhead. It's not expensive to make these albums. You're making them at home or wherever, and you're building a reasonable fan base, and you're selling physical and merch. Not everyone is broke, but in terms of like the superstar thing, I agree with you.
But like you said, to what you're bringing in, what you getting,
and my conversation now is not really about independent acts.
Yeah, okay.
My conversation is about what's going on in the majors. They tricking y'all with the words in these contracts. They tricking y'all into thinking that y'all are real partners. They tricking y'all with the, hey, you own your stuff. The recent layoffs tell me that. You don't see all these people getting laid off?
All over. They laid off like 40%
everywhere,
right?
Everywhere.
Media too.
Everywhere. Yeah.
And look, and to me, based on what you're saying, that went to our AR conversation. The second that we can have 6 people instead of 60, y'all gone.
So this is definitely not a drill. Atlantic/Warner is planning to fire and let go over 100 people. I'm sorry, 150. Actually, 170. And not only is this super unfortunate for the employees that are affected, I do see optimism for them, but I also want to share my small, itsy-bitsy critique or commentary, if you will. I don't want anybody coming after me. But basically, the company's restructuring, and so many people are going to be affected by this restructuring. We kind of already knew this in the beginning of this year when Universal did their mass layoffs, but all the other tech companies did their mass layoffs. But what I find really interesting, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard this morning that they are restructuring Atlantic into like a distribution company, which in theory, I guess it makes sense. But if they honestly think that's the model that's going to make them financially sustainable, they're inaccurate and wrong. My humble opinion. Now for the artists and young executives that are affected, although it fucking sucks to get fired or lose a team member, please use this as fuel. Sure, you could work at another label, sure. But use the internet to your advantage and build your own shit.
There was a time where I thought that everybody had money except me. I would see motherfuckers do these music video shoots and motherfuckers got chains and cars and all type of shit. And I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment with 4 motherfuckers. So there was a time where I was really thinking, bro, why do everybody got money and I don't got no money? Is it because I'm independent? The truth is, everybody didn't have no money. But, you know, they don't tell you that because the label job is to make it look like you got some money. We'll give you the car, we're going to give you the cosigns, we're going to put you in the studio with this motherfucker, we're going to have...
Like I say in plenty of these videos, they're selling the image. It's just the image, y'all. It's an illusion. It's an illusion, fam. You know what I'm saying? Just like social media couples that are quote couple goals, they're selling you an illusion that their relationship is perfect. When we know that doesn't even exist. It's the same shit right here.
Had cameras following you around everywhere you go. I was thinking like, damn, everybody getting money but me. But nah, everybody looked like they got money except me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I got caught up in the layoffs, but it was more of a layup than a layoff. Okay. Because I
love that.
knew this was coming.
For you, or you know?
Y'all saw how that he reframed that shit? That's what I want you to do in your life too. And maybe you already do it. If you do, shout out to you, man. You 3 steps ahead of everybody else. That's what you want to do. If you see a seemingly negative situation, how can you reframe it to work to your benefit? To see that everything is unfolding for me, in my favor. How can you reframe it to where it fits the plan that was supposed to be anyway, that's still leading you to your goal, right? Your ultimate goal, whatever that may be. Make it a pattern or make it a habit, right? Make it a habit of reframing seemingly negative things and circumstances into things that actually benefit you along your journey, all right?
It's coming, period. Both. I knew it was coming for me. Last year around this time, I was having issues with my contract, and that's when I was like, something's wrong. Yep. And I was like, let me start setting up my plan A. I've always had a plan A if I had a job. And the plan A was whatever I was hustling for, you know what I'm saying? So if I had a job, if I was a custodian, I was doing something else on the side, you feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
So it was never one thing that I had all my eyes in, you know what I'm saying? So with the music business, no different. I have never done every single thing the right way the first time. I'm not perfect or none of that. I've had some ups and downs, and I've had more victories than losses.
Google fired its entire U2 music team while the employees were in the middle of testifying before the Austin City Council. A group of less than 50 employees were testifying about their unionization efforts when they were informed of their sudden termination.
Let me just say this. Just like social media is benefiting us and technology is benefiting us, right? Us creators and the artists and shit like that, right? Just how we're able to utilize social media, guess what these big companies are able to utilize? AI. How many people have you heard of getting laid off and fired because their jobs are being replaced by AI? You know what I'm saying? They don't have to have a staff that they pay. They don't have to have a staff of 150 people, 200 people, when all they got to do is use AI. They could probably do a better job than some of these people, right? If not all of them. So, hey man, there's pros and cons to everything here. Just like we're benefiting from social media, these big companies, they are benefiting from AI as well. And if you are in a job that is replaceable, you need to stay ahead of the curve because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The moment that they will be able to replace your job with AI is the moment that you are going to be freaking out. So I need you to think ahead. How can you get into something that is not replaceable by technology? What would that be? What would that lane be? How would you pivot? Right? Start thinking now because it's happening right before our eyes. You probably know some people who have already been laid off due to AI replacing their jobs. All right, this is really real.
They just laid us all off.
Oh.
Yeah, they just laid us all off.
We just all, I guess we just all.
Our jobs are ended today, effective immediately. Last year, the U2 music team voted to unionize under the Alphabet Workers Union, seeking better pay, benefits, and a flexible return to office policy.
They said,
however,
fuck y'all.
Google refused to negotiate, arguing that because the employees are contractors, their contractor Cognizant is responsible for bargaining.
And I'm gonna just say this, man. You thought that these companies were cutthroat before? Oh, they finna get even more cutthroat. Why? Because once again, if they were saying fuck you before, now that AI is coming into play, oh, it's gonna be a royal fuck you. Take you and your complaints and get the fuck out of here, okay? We don't give a damn. We could just have robot Wilma do your work and everybody else on your team's work too. You know what I'm saying? So ta-ta, bye-bye. Farewell, see you never. You know what I'm saying? Like.
But the National Labor Relations Board ruled that Google and Cognizant are joint employers of the U2 music team. And the NLRB said that Google's refusal to bargain with the U2 music workers is illegal. Still, in a statement to Fortune, a spokesperson for Google claims the Austin-based workers are not Google employees, saying Cognizant is responsible for them. Google also denied that it fired the workers, saying this was a routine end of contract that was agreed on with Cognizant. But the workers say the termination was a surprise, and many feel as if they could lose their homes due to the sudden and unexpected layoff.
Even YouTube Music doing layoffs. Spotify had to lay off. Pretty much everything revolving around the music industry is looking bad. It's looking.
It's not just music, like I said, y'all. I was at T-Mobile the other day for my cracked screen, right? And you know when you get that little cracked screen, like you get the screen protector. Well, my screen protector was cracked, right? So I'm going to get that switched out like I always do. And they do it for free every time, right? So I'm getting it switched out. And homie, T-Mobile worker is telling me, yeah, they're finna replace us. It's like, what you mean replace y'all? Yeah, we finna they're finna slowly phase us out. Like, what? Yeah, when you come into the store, it'll all be AI. Like, it'll all be, I'm like, what? Really though? That's crazy. He was like, yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. And that's gonna happen you're gonna see that more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a real thing. It's not just the music industry, y'all. It's all industries. Any industry that can be replaced by a robot, artificial intelligence, that's gonna take over. All right? So that's why it's so important for you to find yourself and know yourself and build your own personal brand. Brand yourself. Because there's only one you, and AI can never replace you as a human being. Spirit consciousness. AI could never, ever duplicate you. So use that to your benefit, right? Build the skills right now while you can, right? That's all I'm saying. Hold on, y'all. All right, let's keep going.
See, and I'm gonna just say, a lot of these rappers, they was looking like they was balling. But when I see, if you pay attention, people not rocking those big old chains no more. Now they rocking beads. Now they rocking those little tiny chains. People had to pawn their jewelry. We seen the musicians try to get into e-commerce. We seen them try to come up with their own clothing brands. We seen them try to diversify. They're trying to get into different business endeavors.
I mean, you could just see it with this. You could even see how much the music industry is struggling by how many of them want to be streamers. They done started their own YouTube channels now. They want to come on the biggest streamer streams. They want to start their Twitch. Because niggas is struggling. They're not eating. They're not making money over there, fam. They're not. They can't just sustain and maintain their old lifestyle, right? With what they have been doing. So they've got to add streams of income, whether that be Twitch. I'm seeing my nigga Timbaland, right? Timbaland, beat maker, producer. You know what I'm saying? He's going live on Twitch. He's going live on YouTube. I be seeing him, right? We're talking Timbaland, fam. So all of these people are now starting YouTube channels, Twitch streams, all of this shit so they can make money independently. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show these artists are not doing as well as you think. I would actually bet money that a lot of creators and influencers, streamers, YouTubers are getting paid more than your favorite artists out here. You know what I'm saying? I can almost bet money that that's true in some cases. Let me know what y'all think.
And for the stupid ones like Fetty Wap and Pee Wee Longway, we seen them go back to the trap. We seen them catch years.
Oh yeah.
Pee Wee just got caught with like over $200 million worth of drugs. He done. He about to do life. I ain't gonna hold you. He done. What they got caught with, it's over. We seeing
that's what you call self-sabotage, man. You know, you had a way out and you fucked yourself. You know, like what?
Rappers like Lil Baby, T.I., 2 Chainz and them trying to open restaurants, and that's just to name a few. It's a lot more. Can't tell you everything you need to know.
I'm really starting to think that the music industry and the celebs that are in it have been fooling us all this time.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think any of them have money at all. I mean, cash poor type shit. And there's a good reason for that. People like Gucci and Christian Dior and Louis Vuitton, they are the Rolex and the Bentleys of the fashion industry. So they do not need a celebrity to showcase their latest design to sell.
And some of those same designers that you just named don't want us wearing their shit. They don't. They don't. They'd rather have a different demographic. We all know what we're talking about, right? They would all rather a different demographic rock their shit, yet we just gotta rock it, right? We just gotta do it. We just gotta do it. You know what I mean? So, there's that.
Sell it, they don't. So when you see these rappers and singers and stuff in the music industry showing their clothes and their houses and all that stuff, I really think they're getting all that stuff on credit. And the music industry,
they say it's a black card for a reason, right? That black card probably attached to the label, whatever they get from the label or whatever the case is. We don't really know, right? And with all that being said, I don't think that every artist is broke, right? I don't believe that, okay? But I do believe that they've got to do way more now than they had to do before. You know what I'm saying? Or they just in general have to do more, right? And thank God we have social media, so they do have the opportunity to do more.
Industry is like, you work for me, we give you all these gifts. Why do you think so many people are in some real fucked up contracts right now? And also, in our community, we always talk about if we had millions of dollars, how we would buy up the block, how we would help our people and stuff. And you don't see them doing that, and people think it's because they're selfish. No, I think it's because they are cash poor and they really cannot.
They ain't got it. They ain't got it.
Brings me to this. The music industry is very successful in creating images into demeaning us in every single way, and they profit and make lots of money off of that, and we buy into that every time we support them. To us, it's just entertainment, but it really is a real life plan. Now, why would little old me feel this way? Because none of it makes sense. I'm telling you, they are a walking billboard for companies to get black dollars. And why? Because nobody in the entire world spends like black people. No matter how broke we are, no matter if the rent needs to get paid, nothing matters when it comes to us getting them dollars to look good and to look
impress
like we also have a celebrity lifestyle.
Impress some motherfuckers who don't even give a fuck about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's all a plan, all of it. It's so you can be broke, so they can get the cash from you that they're not getting. Now, I know that may sound crazy, but I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, something just is not right here. And then when you think of C-list and D-list rappers and stuff like that, it's not that their music is trash. They try to make it seem like, oh, they just aren't relevant anymore. No, the talent is still there and always have been. The problem is if a brand isn't able to use them to further push whatever
their agenda
they got going on, none of us black folks is going to want to buy into whatever that rapper or whoever, whatever they're selling. If they cannot use you, they don't want you.
If they can't use you, they rather lose you. Same thing with YouTubers, creators, and shit like that, right? They can't use you, they rather lose you. What do they do to lose you? Oh, that algorithm's gonna fuck up, okay? Your videos are not gonna be pushed out. Your information and videos will be suppressed. They're not gonna get suggested like they used to. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, these are some of the things that come with the game, man. You gotta charge this shit to the game, and you still got to work in spite of. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta work in spite of.
And I think that time, and
unless you want to sell out,
us, even with the government, if they cannot use you, you do not have nothing to give them at all. You serve them no purpose. So once again, these companies are the Bentley and Rolexes of the entertainment world and the fashion world and all of the government. They do not need no.
Which is why somebody like an India Ari or a Lauryn Hill, even though they had their successes, they'll never be a Beyonce level. They're not pushing Beyonce's agenda, right? They're just not. So a lot of the times it's not, I'm not saying that Beyonce's not talented. There's a lot of talented artists up here, right? Out here. All I'm saying is the ones who are going with a certain agenda, pushing a certain agenda, the algorithm is gonna push them, okay? Even 6ix9ine exposed the fact that these artists have an algorithm. Who was it, J. Cole too? Some other people admit the fact that when you are pushing a certain agenda, the algorithm is behind you full force, right? The algorithm is not gonna support certain shit. It's just not. Why would they when it's not pushing the agenda that they want to be pushed? You know what I'm saying?
No advertising.
They have more control than you think.
False narrative of, oh, they're just advertising this and they give celebrities free stuff here and now. They know they're giving them fucking free shit all the time because they're not actually physically paying them with cash. They're getting our black dollars. Let that sit. So in short, the music industry and celebs and designer brands are in cahoots with each other to make it look like they're getting money to buy those expensive things, but it's really just a marketing plan to take our money. Nobody spend money like black people. Peace.
But I'm out of the music industry because ain't no money in the music industry. And I know people might get mad and trip, but I'm just saying, y'all know it's a lot of things that we used to do. It ain't no money, and you know it done tapped out. They trying to figure out how to make money off of streams. When Snoop put a post up, said, man, I sold 1 billion streams. I only made this little money. Where the millions at? We knew where our money from because we had tangible goods. And that's why I got into the product game. We could actually have tangible goods. I told people all the time, product outweighs talent. Product gonna be around when we not here. Michael Jordan is still successful because of the shoes, not because of him shooting balls into the hoop. That been over.
Especially if you're signed to a label, you can control your release dates or when things get released. Also, musicians don't make a lot of money in the music industry. That's why you see a lot of people, they have brand deals and brand sponsorships. That's where the coin comes from in touring. But like music itself, you're actually losing money. I learned this because I would produce THEDIAMONDLIFE records. Producers outside will get paid a huge lump sum, but because I would produce THEDIAMONDLIFE records, I couldn't get paid because I was the producer within the group. I don't know if it changed within Grammys, but you know, like how they have Producer of the Year. I learned it from Imogene Heat because, you know, she produces a lot of her stuff. So does Grimes, so does Bjork. They couldn't be contenders for Producer of the Year because they were the ones producing their own bodies of work and not for others. And notice how those are just the women I named.
They sign you $3 million, 5 albums. But your album term might say you can't drop an album for 9 to 12 months. So if we do the math, that's some years. That's years. 4 years, 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6 years, because the average artist ain't just finna drop no album exactly on the 9 months. So it's still gonna be a stretch. You're creating, and then while that's going on, they still gotta spend the money into you. So it's doubling down. So it's like most artists, you don't see no check from the label, but the one that you sign.
Rap ain't where it used to be. Sales ain't selling no more. Fucking like. Motherfuckers is not buying tickets like that no more to come to them concerts. Like, you feel me? The economy fucked up. Like, what? And these people want you to hold music? This shit fucked up out here. I do rap. If you go on the DSPs like Apple Music, Spotify, all of those places, and you look at where my projects is listed under, like what genre they listed under, they all listed under hip hop and rap. I got a solid fan base. And that's the thing too, like, I won't lie, y'all. Like, that's another thing I'll tell y'all. Like, the economy is so fucked up that, like, it's so many people going out on tour in October.
And not selling out.
I gotta see if I'm even able to go out on tour in October. Like, you feel me? Or whenever we supposed to go out. Like, I gotta see, cause this shit fucked up out here. Like, everybody don't got it right now. Everybody don't got it. The world fucked up.
A lot of people ain't got it.
I want to be able to, you know what I mean? Like, but y'all got my word. Like, when I do go out on tour, I'm gonna put my tickets as low as I can for y'all. That way it's fair for y'all and fair for me.
Real nigga.
Fair for everybody that got
Real
it.
nigga.
I'm gonna put my tickets as low as I can for y'all, cause I know how the economy is.
Real nigga, man.
Like, shit ain't the best right now. Everybody don't got it.
Listen, if you do a quick Google search, you will see most musicians that were supposed to go out on tour had to cancel their tour. We talking about Taylor Swift, Sexy Red. We talking about Lauryn Hill. Pretty much everybody that was supposed to go out on tour, we seen them have to cancel dates or cancel the whole entire thing. That's because people not buying tickets. People really got to spend money on themselves. They don't got no additional money to spend on wants or things that's not deemed necessary right now or essential. Remember, we learned that word.
Come on now. We got $10 cartons of eggs. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the 12, not the big joint. The 12. $10. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
During the pandemic, essential. Going to a concert, not essential. So what is that doing right now? It's taking a toll on these artists. They already really don't get paid off of streaming. They really don't see no real check for real. Drake been said that. He don't care about how many streams he do, how many records he sell, because he's not seeing a check anyway for real, right? They not getting that. Now when they can't go out on the road, they really not making no money other than doing features and getting sponsorships, getting endorsements. So what's really happening to the music industry right now is it was at its hiatus, really, and now we going towards the decline. We're going towards hard times. The music industry, film industry, the whole nine. I'm gonna tell you where the labels went wrong. When they stopped doing artist development. They used to develop artists.
They sure did.
You could peep good talent and develop them into a worldwide viral sensation.
Now all they do is just fucking have this artist that might be popping a little bit, might have a little name, might have their own little buzz. You know what I'm saying? They don't do, like you said, they don't do any development of the artist. They get what they can get, use the artist for whatever they can get, and then toss the artist. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Nowadays they just chase numbers. Anybody that got a nice amount of views.
And then they find the next person, because there's gonna be a next person that's buzzing. They're gonna do the same thing. Toss them out, discard them. And it's just gonna, the cycle is rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
Views on a song, they will sign them. They will throw the bag at them. And really, you just gotta get over 100,000 plays, and really, they throwing deals at you. If every song got about 100K, they gonna offer you a deal. But these people can't get people to come to the concerts. They have no real substance in their music, so it's not impactful, it's not touching the people, nothing. And nowadays, an artist can sound like another artist, and that's cool. Back in the day, you couldn't have two Tupacs. We already got a Pac. We don't need another Pac. We already got a Eminem. We don't need another Eminem. We already got Lil Wayne. We don't need a bootleg version.
We have real artists. Now we have so much bullshit artists, man. I can't even listen to the radio no more. It's so much bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
And Lil Wayne. But nowadays, that's acceptable. Everybody really sound the same. They're talking about the same things. Their lyrics are the same. Everybody talking about killing, you know, violence, toxicity, dissing each other. The women talking about how they don't need a man and how they using a man. Really, that's broke people music. People that got something going for themselves really don't care about none of that. They're not worried about other people. They worried about themselves.
In all actuality, I barely even listen to music. All right, I listen to podcasts, stuff like that, stuff that's gonna elevate me, stuff that is going to make sure that I grow. That's what I listen to, you know what I'm saying? I can't say very rarely, but I really don't listen to that much music whenever I'm driving. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Every now and then I get in that mode and I get in that mood, you know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, I want to learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to learn, grow, and be the best me I can be. I can't do that with this dumbed down ass, trash ass music.
This music is really about other people. It's just terrible music that has no longevity. You're not going to hear none of this music being played 20 years from now. Not even 10 years from now. None of these songs that came out recently, in the recent years, would be considered classics. Nobody going to turn this on and be like, hey, remember this song? This is a classic.
That's a fact, man. Hey, I'm off this video. I done talked enough. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I love y'all, man. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their Angel Mama, tell their Uncle Joey, still a hard. We'll see you guys in the next motherfucking video. When I love y'all, man. Peace. We out, baby.